morning. Hello everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Chrissy and today I'm going to be giving you a prediction reading for the 12th of February. Now please hit the like buttons, guys. Feel free to comment down below, and if you are new here, please remember to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you know my videos pop up. So I'll get started. Actually, just first off, Louise, thank you for sharing your story with us all. I really felt your pain in that. You went to, you were discussing things with people and they're rising up. And I think at the end of the day, this is what we've all got to be aware of. People coming up with their anger and their pain bodies. See, what we've got to remember with these people waking up and the people in the bubble denial suits is they're going to be really pissed off. They're going to be really angry. And that's why I reckon a lot of these protests, strikes, etc. are going to be quite volatile. And if nothing else, like I told you that we're having marches here in Australia next week, I think the 18th. This is all around in the capital cities. But my husband and I aren't going to go to them. We've been to heaps of marches, but we're not going to this one because we reckon the energy is going to be just overwhelming. Because we're sensitives, we're empaths, and we're intuitives, we take a lot of other people's energies on, guys. So it's just something to really be aware of. And Louise, I thank you for highlighting that to us all, because that was proof that this is what these people are starting to go through. They're really getting into their anger and their pain bodies are really rising up. I mean, you would have to be really angry, wouldn't you? If you think about the lies and what you've been told. And not just that, we talk about what they've jabbed into themselves, like, and then suddenly they start digging around, and it doesn't take much to do a little digging, and then boom, everything comes to the surface about people dying suddenly, and myocarditis, and shingles on the rise, and Bell's palsy, and all these things. This is what it's doing to people, and they're going to find it out because there's these truth movements of people starting to tell their truth. So thank you, Louise, for sharing that with us, because it did highlight to all the rest of us how important it is that we stay strong, we stay protecting ourselves, and we stay away from all this nonsense that's going to start to happen in 2023. And I think we could all agree it's already happening. It's kicked off, like, we said it would. So here we are. The battle is beginning, and I keep saying it's like World War III, the battle between the people and the government. That's virtually where we're at. But we can remove ourselves. That's still the advice from the guides. Protect yourself, stay safe. We've fought our battles. We don't even need to do these anymore. So like I keep saying, don't even battle with individuals. Like, don't get drawn into those conversations. Because there's no point. There's no point to it. So yes, definitely, and a good solution to all of that, Louise, is go and have a nice relaxing bath. That's our solution, isn't it? Most of us here just go and chill in the bath and watch Netflix. Oh, all right, enough of that now. Enough of the discussing all these sleepwalkers and people in their bubble denial suits coming out of them and all the chaos it's going to cause. Oh, God, it's going to be just a big event of the year, isn't it, all this? Okay, let's see where we go. I'm getting Germany's government. I've had so much Germany lately, guys. A lot going on over there. But I'm getting that Germany's government's digging a hole for itself. It's like they're digging a hole for themselves. Think, the people, you little people in Germany have really pushed back your government. It's awesome. You're making a difference. So keep going. I said that yesterday. But the government's starting to dig a hole for themselves, because I think what's happening is by their the harsh way they're coming at people, it's making more people realise and wake up and stand up. So this is good. So the government's digging a hole for themselves, meaning, ooh, it's not going so well for the government in Germany. That's so good to hear, isn't it? So keep going. Whatever you're doing over there, it's working. Because your government was a little bit hard to get to. We kept getting that Berlin Wall, didn't we? The visual of the Berlin Wall. that blockage between people and government. But I feel like that's being broken down. So keep going. Okay, where else do we go? Okay, New Zealand. People fighting for their rights. I'm getting it. They got their signs. You're gonna have big movement, big marches, big movements, big protests. And it's going to be about everything. It's not the old strikes. We haven't got enough nurses and all that stuff. This is bigger than that. This is what I'm getting for New Zealand. People are really coming together in New Zealand. They really are. God, yesterday we had here the Indigenous round of the football, and they played in New Zealand. Actually, I can't remember. Rotorua, I think they played in. Such a good game, and they did the big haka. I know you guys, a lot of you out there, my New Zealand viewers, would have watched it. Australia, actually, the Aboriginal people did their little tribal dance, which actually wasn't too bad. And, you know, the haka, well, what can I say? You kill it every time. It looks so good. It's such a... it has such impact, doesn't it, when they do that tribal warrior... rituals, I guess you could say. And then it was beautiful at the end. They got up in each other's faces, and then they kissed with the forehead and the nose. I don't know what that means. It's obviously a greeting. Let me know down below, Pam, and that you might know. Let me know what that. It's just obviously a warm greeting, but it was just so nice. They were all really aggressive, and then they just had this gentle moment at the end. It was really beautiful, actually. So, you know, it's nice to see these things, isn't it? That little bit of culture. So like I always say, you got that real warrior energy in New Zealand. You guys stand up and you fight back. You really do. Oh, and we know what Hippo's going to be like. God. If you're new here, it's Chris Hipkins, the Prime Minister of New Zealand now. The new Prime Minister who's calling the shots. So I am getting that massive movement in New Zealand. Massive. It's going to be big. That's so good, isn't it? Yeah, and that's what I'm getting, because Hippo's undermining the little people. See, he's bringing things in, like pulling a rope. He's bringing things in without the people knowing. So he's doing it behind their backs in New Zealand. He's implementing things, bringing things in, because he's trying not to get people to stand up and wake up. But then they realise, because he's very sneaky. He's sneaky. And I said to you the other day, he's the goody two-shoe teacher's pet kind of energy. People don't like him. And he's going to be more unlikable because he's doing things behind the little people's backs, which we know they are. But that's why there's going to be more people standing up, because they're going to realise what's going on pretty quickly. See, you can only hide these things for so long until you hit people with it, and then boom, they all wake up. Like I always say, people work in these industries, you know, farmers, renewables, people work in these industries, and they know they're being fed garbage. Oh, it doesn't take much to work it out, does it? All right, let's see where else we go. Oh, back to London. We've flown back to London on the little eco-friendly plane. We're back in London. Hang on. They're showing me Sushi's face. He's going to come out and do a bit more talking soon. He's been laying low. He's been a little bit laying low. There's a lot of coronation stuff going on. But I do feel like Sushi's going to do a bit of seed planting now. See, the thing is, the problem is you've got a lot of people starting to stand up over there, because you've got these, well, as we know, the lovely 15-minute cities and their 20-minute neighbourhoods, or whatever you want to call them. So it's starting to have the ripple effect of waking people up. So Sushi's going to have to quickly jump in and come into like damage control, and he's going to have to ease the pressure off the little people somehow. I feel like what they're going to do, and this is just what I feel they're going to just say they're only trialing it. That's what I feel. I feel like they're going to really do the old, we're only trialing it to see if this could work moving forward. They're pretending they're not going to implement it, which we know their intention is to just implement it globally. But to me, Sushi's going to try and cover it up and just say they're just doing these trials to see if it does help the emissions. Because there's a lot of talk now in the UK, I know, about no more wood burning fires and all this kind of stuff in your homes and all this stuff, which we knew was going to happen anyway. Like, how ridiculous. It's just getting ridiculous. I keep sharing all that stuff to my Facebook page, guys. Make sure you guys are too, because then people start to panic. Because as you know, guys, I live in the mountains and everyone uses wood fires. As you know, if you live in a cold climate, most of us use wood fires. So we ain't going to want to give that up, because that's the only way you can really warm your house. If you really want a warm house, I mean, I have both options. I have gas and reverse cycle and that as well. But I always kept my wood fire because I absolutely love it. And I know you guys would be the same. So this is what I'm thinking. He's going to have to kind of pretend they're just trialing it to like measure the, you know, it's all the old measuring the emissions and seeing if it's going to work and if people are going to be happy with it. So I feel like Sushi's going to have to do a little bit of damage control here around these trial villages or whatever they are that he's doing. Is it Oxfordshire? Something like that. And there's a few other places too. So I do feel like he's going to have to come out and say something. See, you can't just roll something out and expect people to go with it. It's just, that's not how people are. We're not, see, this is what makes me laugh about the reset agenda and the book that Cotton Schwab wrote. They just see people as numbers and they see people as like robots. Well, I don't think they even see us as robots. I think robots are more intelligent than the little people and peasants. But see, we're unpredictable. They forget that we've got a thinking mind and that we can work things out for ourselves. So that's why we become unpredictable to the government. And these are the reasons that they've always got to come out and then sort of cover their tracks a little bit. Like, you know, it's like if you're covering up a crime or your, you know, tracks on a bush track. You have to get a branch and switch over all the gravel and the thing to get rid of your tracks if you don't want anyone to find you. Well, that's what all the government elites are starting to do. They're covering their tracks, and Sushi's about to do that. I think you might start to hear from him a little bit more at the minute, because he doesn't want the little people in panic mode prior to the coronation, because he knows that'll look really bad. So they're going to do a little bit of damage control in London. Okay, let's see what else we get. God, I'm getting Australia actually, and I'm getting elbow, and I'm getting, but this is kind of globally too. This is for all your prime ministers, like Trudeau and everybody. They're going to start doing the blame game. I mean, they do that anyway, but they're blaming the previous prime ministers. Like, I'm even getting like elbow with Gough Whitlam, one of our earlier prime ministers who really put Australia into a huge amount of debt. But this is what I'm getting. They're all going to start doing the blame game. Like, they're going to, because of course they don't want to take responsibility, do they? So they're going to say, because of what happened way back when, we're still having to recover that debt. And because of all the damage that was done, because of all these things, we're going to have to improve the, you know, gas emissions and all this kind of stuff. We know how it's going to go. So they're doing the blame game at the moment. They're blaming people further back for the reason that they need to roll out all the stuff moving forward. That's what I'm getting, and that's elbow blaming, like, even like Gough Whitlam, obviously Scott Morrison, ScoMo, the reason Australia's in so much debt and everything. And this is just what they're going to do. Of course, it's not about buying millions and millions and zillions and billions of dollars about, you know, of jabs and all the equipment and everything. That wouldn't have put anyone in debt. No, not at all. So let's blame everybody else way back before we were even in Parliament. This is what they're going to do. They do the big blame game. It's such a circus, even though they're the ones that are bloody forking out all our hard-earned dollars to bloody build up Big Pharma and all these bloody companies. So frustrating, but I am getting that. They're going to start to, you know, blame other people, this is the global leaders, for the reason that we're in this state. For example, Australia. The reason Australia is in this state with all these problems is because it goes right back to all the leaders before elbow. That's what he's going to say, virtually. And this is what they're all going to do. They're going to try and get the spot. Oh, we know who'll be good at doing that. Oh, speaking of, that reminds me of Biden. That's something Biden will do. He will blame Trump. He will even go back further as well. Maybe to, I don't think he'll blame Obama though, but maybe to Clinton. He'll start the blame game as well. It's the reason everything's gone belly up in the world and upside down is because of the predecessors, the people who were before them. That's what's going to start happening. We're going to hear more of that. We know Biden's good at that. Oh, Trump did this and Trump did that and Trump did everything. Meanwhile, we know who exactly did everything. Anyway, I am getting that. It's the big blame game this year. They're going to be blaming all the previous leaders. Oh no, because it's never their fault, is it? Anyway. Hang on a minute, guys. They give me something. I'm getting that song. I could hear the words. I just couldn't quite get it. It's a pretty old song, and it's that, I don't know who sings it, don't even ask me, but it's, there's a reason why the sun don't shine, and there's a reason, da-da-da-da, the line, and there's a reason, da-da-da-da, there's a season. Is it there's a season? There's a season, there's a reason. I don't know. You know the song, guys. It's a pretty old one, but I'm sure it's there's a reason. I'm not 100% sure, but I do think it's called There's a Reason. I'll look it up anyway and leave it down below if I think of it. But what they're saying is everything happens for a reason. That's why we're getting this song. Everything that has happened to us in the last 3 years is for a reason. Look at us. We've all found each other here. We've managed to move through our pains, ailments, anxieties, fears, worries, all these things that probably we did carry around as a backpack for most of our lives, not just with the pandemic, but we've found a way to drop the backpack of stuff, old emotions, hurts, all these things, and we've found a way to move forward. Now, there's reasons all this has happened. I really believe that things do happen for reasons because they lead you to somewhere else. You know, we've all come here, we've all created Terra Bella, which is our happy place, our beautiful earth, that we've kind of created in our minds, which is somewhere we can go to that is our happy place, really. So Terra Bella can really be anything. If you are new here, guys, we all voted on it and we created this little space that we can go out in our gardens, we can paddle a canoe, we can cook dinner. These are all little sort of examples of Terra Bella is what we use. So we kind of get out of the madness and escape to Terra Bella. Well, we actually called it Escape from Clown World. we have these 2 books we kind of wrote, guys. And if you are new here, it's Escape from Clown World and Journey to Terra Bella. So we found a way out of the clown show and all the lies and deception and garbage they've been feeding everyone. And we took off. And we just keep moving forward. And that's why I'm getting that song, There's a Reason. So we need to play that today. Not sure who sings it. You guys might know. You're always very good at helping me with the music. So I'm getting that song, There's a Reason. Da 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 da. Anyway, enough of my lovely singing. Sorry, guys. Some days it's so bad. Sometimes I check my videos and I go, oh, cringeworthy. But anyway, it's all part of the important messages. All right, let's see where else we go today. God, for some reason someone mentioned, I got this image the other week, didn't I? We were talking about Happy Days, the show Happy Days. Most of us here would remember the show Happy Days with the Fonz, and he'd go, hey, and he was all cool on his motorbike and all that sort of thing. Well, I'm just getting that song, Sunday, Monday, Happy Days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Happy Days, Thursday, Friday, Happy Days, Saturday, what a day. spending all week with you. So I'm just getting this really upbeat song. We've got to make like every day a happy day. Like we work really hard at that. I know you guys out there, we try to be positive, like we try to be upbeat. We know that you can't be all the time because that's the yin yang, and that's the balance. You've got to have, you know, the negativity and then a bit of positivity, because that's how you grow. It's through the negative experiences that you grow. So that's why I'm getting that song Happy Days. And then of course we are, because we're the rebel freedom fighter Braveheart bikers, and they're showing us like the Fonz with our, you know, our Braveheart biker jackets on, and like we've got this like coolness about us now where we're, and if you think about the Fonz, I don't know if some of you young ones might not know the Fonz. He was this really cool biker guy, and he was just so cool. Like he could click his fingers and he'd get all the chicks and things had just come to him, and he could just brush things off, like, you know, and everyone was like in awe of the Fonz. That's kind of the image I'm getting for us, but we don't care. It's like, it's not that people are in awe. That's not really what I'm trying to say here. Hang on a minute. I'm trying to say that the Fonz was respected. Like, in time, we're going to be respected for putting out the truth. I think that's what the guides are kind of saying. You know, we're just normal, ordinary, everyday people. You know, I don't think the Fonz was like a neurosurgeon or anything like that. He was a mechanic, wasn't he? But what the guides are saying is, we've still got to have this, people are still going to respect us moving forward. Like, don't think that you're just going to be dismissed in society and that you're irrelevant and that you're, you know, we're not going to continue down this crazy conspiracy theorist road, because we know we're not conspiracy theorists. See, we're the BS detectors. That's what we call ourselves here, guys, as well, if that's another word that we do use, because we see the bullshit when it's coming. Ahead of time before it hits us, so we can avoid it. So that's the image that I'm getting. We are long term. We're going to have more respect. We're not going to be treated as poorly and as viciously as we were in the beginning of this whole shit show, clown show, circus event. Because the truth will come out, and that's what the guides are saying. The truth will come out. And so we're like the Fonz. Remember the Fonz? Oh my God, he was so cool. He could just click his fingers and everyone would just come running. I don't think we'll quite be at that level and status, but that's what they're saying. Like, just, this is the message to us, is really just be cool. Just lay low. Just, you know, sit on your bike and just do your own thing. And don't worry. Just don't worry. Just stay independent of all the nonsense. That's really the image that I'm getting. Happy Days. Oh, that was such a great show. God, I love that show. I watched it all the time. Oh, we get some funny things on here. Okay, let's see if there's something else to close with today. God, yeah, it's showing me people struggling now. This financially, people are so struggling now. It's showing me them opening their little coin purses and like just digging deep down, looking for coins in their handbags. Like, people are getting desperate. They're really scraping now to make ends meet. This is globally, this is most people. This would be 3/4 of the population are scraping to make ends meet. We've already heard about people getting second jobs and things like this. Well, this is starting to happen now. And what happens then? It puts stress on people. More marriage breakups, more domestic violence. All this is going to be on the rise. All that stuff. All the stress. More heart attacks. We know that's probably going to happen because that's going to trigger off in people. Oh, God, just never ends, doesn't it? Okay. Hang on a minute. They give me too many things at once. You know what they're like. Hang on. God, they keep giving me this song by Gautier. I was talking about him the other day. He's a really good musician. I think it's Goyte. And his song is Heart's a Mess. Heart's a Mess. It's a great film clip, actually. I want you to go and check that out. My heart's a mess. You don't need to wait. Oh, my heart's a mess. It's a great song. But I'm thinking this is about the people waking up and the people in the bubble denial suits. They're going to be a mess. Their heart's a mess. Everything's a mess. They're trying to navigate. If you see the film clip, it's a really bizarre film clip, like this giant, it's like almost a giant spider with people starting to follow him. It's like as he's walking, he picks up other creatures along the way. It's kind of an interesting film clip. So people are starting to find their way out because their life's a total mess. So I am getting that song by Gautier. My heart's a mess. Hang on a minute. Good film clip. And it's actually funny in that film clip, you know, because they're showing me, they're showing me some of the visuals from it, and they're walking over these rocks and all this uneven terrain, and it's a strange kind of film clip. But then at the end, I think they sort of float away on this little, there's like a beacon of light or something. I'm trying to think, or they float. There's just this visual of floating, and that's just what I'm getting. Meaning these people waking up. This is their journey. That music's not about us. It's about the people waking up. Hang on, I'll see if there's something for us. Giving me such an old song, and oh God, I'm getting this song. Hold me tight. It's hard for me to tell you I'm sorry. Who sings that? R.E.M. Speedwagon. I just want to go. Hard for me to tell you I'm sorry. That's these people talking to us virtually about it's hard for them to say sorry. I don't think we're ever going to get sorry from these people. I don't think we should expect it either, because they're never going to acknowledge, as much as we will have the respect, like I said, for staying in our own power and being true to ourselves and being like the Fonz, and having that strength and that bravery. They're never going to say sorry. They're not. So don't expect that, guys. I know it's just not going to happen. It's like they always want to just move on, like it didn't even happen, and everybody just move on. It's not an issue, and just don't talk about it. So that's what I'm getting with that song. That's such an old song. Hold me now. It's hard for me to tell you I'm sorry. Oh, it's such an old song. Okay, hang on a minute. God, I'm getting this. Is it Run DMC? Because it's like that, and that's the way it is. I'm getting this song for some reason. See, they try to finish, I think, with a really positive, upbeat song for us guys sometimes, and we've got to go and like listen to these things and just keep our vibe up sometimes, because it's like that, and that's the way it is. So I guess what the guys are saying to us guys is we've got to just accept things for the way that they are at the moment. It doesn't mean it's going to stay like that forever. We need to go listen to that song, guys. But because it's like that, and that's the way it is. I got the feeling it's Run DMC. I love that song. It's got such a good beat. Because it's like that, and that's the way it is. That's the only bit of the song I know. Oh God, I'm so hopeless. But I think what they're saying is just accept that things are like this at the moment, and just keep going. Don't worry about it all. We just have to accept it, because that's just the way it is at the moment. So look, it's up to you guys if you choose to battle, I'm not personally going to, because I feel like the energy is going to just be too overwhelming. And last time I did go, I got hit by those sonic devices and I had vertigo for like 3 days. I was so ill. So these things, you know, you've got to go prepared, guys. So do a little bit of research if you go to any of these protests. Like I say, you know, take your goggles, take your little backpack with all your water and your equipment and things. You know, you have to be prepared. We don't know what the government's going to hit anyone with. Look at Melbourne and the rubber bullets. Oh, did I tell you that Melbourne's throwing a lot of those arrests out? They apparently they mustn't have been legal down there during that really bad protests. And a lot of people have just, it's been thrown out of court. Nearly everything has been thrown out of court. Even the Melbourne police that arrested Avi Yemeni, the Rebel News reporter, that they kept focusing on. They arrested him 3 times. Didn't arrest any other media, of course. They've all thrown them out of court. So that says a lot, doesn't it, guys? So there's been some big wins here in Australia against the Victorian police and things like that. So, you know, maybe they won't come at us as hard now, or at least not in Australia. Canada, well, that's a whole other story, isn't it? Oh, anyway, I'm going to leave you with that today. A little bit of music we've got to go and put onto our Chrissy and the Guides playlist. Check those songs out, see if there's any meaning in them, guys. But anyway, who knows? It's just, oh my God. As with the song we got the other day, was it Tears for Fears? It's a very mad world. And it is. So stay safe and protect yourself. And run for the hills like Kate Bush's song, running up that hill, and get out of here so we don't get attacked by these people waking up. All right, I'll say goodbye from Australia. Have a wonderful day. Hit the like buttons, subscribe, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye.